I'm feeling to take this conversation maybe to a different direction. We can talk about the various topics that can lead us to the general topic that we are discussing, which is leadership. What I want to share with you is something that is more on the inspiration level. I think the topic of leadership is basically one of the key points of this time in history is finding leadership. And when I say finding leadership is that we are all sitting and we are like complaining about this, about that, about politicians, about economic, about global warming, about community. It's like there is endless complaining. And, I was also at that side many years ago of complaining about everything. And I can list you all the problems in the world. And there was a point that I was also like an activist and an anarchist. I was fighting all the problems in the world. And at some point, I understood that I'm actually wasting my time. And I'm not saying that everybody who's fighting for something in the world is wasting his time, but I think there is like next level, like the next chapter. And the next chapter is finding the right direction and working to make it happen. So instead of complaining about the government, I go and I create my community. Instead of complaining about the food companies, I go and I open a restaurant and I make the food that I want to share with people. Instead of saying that there are bad teachers in school, I will put my life into teachings and I will guide people in the way that I see. So for me, leadership is finding this path of how I can influence my reality and the world that I'm connecting with in the way that I want to see the world. I'm very resonating with the sentence that Gandhi said, be the change that you want to see in the world. And you know me, I've been in leadership position all my life. I've been working and running businesses and I was in the front of everything. So complaining about something while you are a leader, it's a little bit ridiculous. It's like, take your legs, your hands, your brain, and do something about it. And I find that this is for me the key to start this discussion about leadership. So I'm not trying to convince now everybody who's listening to me that they need to go and open a business or run an operation and lead through that. We can lead in many different ways. You can just lead your family. You can lead, let's say you are a therapist, you can lead the people that you are taking care of, that you are supporting in your therapy work. So leadership is not just someone who's managing someone else. It's someone who wants to influence something in his environment, in the world, and so on and so on. So first of all, that's where I'm coming from into leadership.
Nice. I like that. What came to me to say on this is like from complaining to inspiration. So in a way, something I'm complaining about, it's wonderful. Now the question is, am I going to be a victim and feel bad about complaining? Or I'm going to take it, feel it, oh, it doesn't feel good like that. So what is more interesting? What is actually great about this complaining? Oh, I can create something. I can help someone. I can help myself. I can breathe. I can transform it internally. I can take action, whatever it is. So it's like the tag of complaining becomes something inspiring and something exciting. Like, great, nice. It doesn't feel good. So let's do something more interesting.
So if I take this and, I don't want to stay in the air, in the theory.
Yeah.
So it's like, I see it like resource management. You have 24 hours a day. You need to sleep that and that hours. You need to eat. You need to do that. But how you spend your time. And for me, if I spend, let's say, my influence time, 90% complaining and 10% executing, that's bad management. It's like it's wrong leadership. I can complain 3%, see the problems, but spend 97% on executing and pushing the world into the direction that I want to. So it's not that I'm against any complaint or against noticing what is wrong, but it's moving from really, like what you say, being a victim in this world and being a creator, an influencer, a creative person, someone who make a difference, not just saying what's the problem all the time. So that's one aspect that I want to look at. I'm gonna take a different approach now. So there is, I think, three things that I think that if we can accomplish them or be successful, let's say, at them, we will feel like very fulfilled and alive. And I think the three topics that I want to look at least from the approach that I'm presenting now, is survival, having what I need to live this life, shelter, food, whatever is needed. The second thing is connection. Connection means you can take it to community, to relating to other people, to have this human connection. And the third one is, let's call it purpose. I have a meaning, I'm doing something in this world. And I think that if you accomplish in a decent level these three elements, you will live happy in this life. Maybe there is going to be happier people than you. Maybe you're not going to be the best in something, but you're going to be a happy person. So for me, leadership is understanding those three topics, understanding what is needed to be done in order to be in a decent level in all the three topics, and through that kind of okay, I'm okay. I can be good. I'm okay in this world. And I will say that, you know, I meet tons of people. I meet a lot of people. It's very rare to find someone who is feeling good about one topic. Let's say I'm good in, like I can finance myself. I have what I need. I can support myself in life. But then being good in two topics or three topics, you rarely find it. It's a very rare commodity. And what I want to open here is not to say that I know the secret to the answer of all of those three, but I want us to create a space that we find the key source features to accomplish these three elements, investigate what is limiting us in each topic, and finding the way to break through. So in a way, you can say it's not just about leadership, but I think in order to be a leader, you need to connect these three dots. It's like sustainability, survival, like basic living, connection, human connection, connection to environment, to community, connection, inner connection to myself, the world connection and all the elements, and purpose, which is what do I bring to the world? I'm just sitting here consuming food, eating and taking, or there is something that I also bring out and I share. And so I want to investigate this one, and I want us to spend really to find the various topics and challenges around these things. Either if me and you will find the topics, or it will come from the group that we work together.
Nice. Okay, nice. And so where to start? Like where would one start?
I want to say that there are various modalities to look at different types of leaders. And I want us to explore various modalities. Like there is the modality that the Taoism looking through the Book of Tao, and they're talking about 4 archetypes of leaders. And I'm not going to explore all of them, but they talk about one who is being feared, so people are afraid of him. One is being despised, people despise him. One is being admired. And the 4th one is the one that nobody knows. He's a very special archetype of a leader. It's like someone who's basically doing the leadership, but nobody really points at him. So he's like what we call egoless leader. And I want to explore this form of leadership. I find this one in my life to be very inspiring. I met few of those people in my life. And so this is just an example for a modality of how they classify leaders. I'll give another one, which is coming from various execution point of views. So there is also 4 archetypes of leader. One is about innovation. That's his thing, innovation. The second one is what we call pushing forward. He can run very fast and nobody can stop him, and he can break any wall, and like against all logic, against all reality, he will push through. The third one is what we call the creator. He's the one who actually creates the thing. He's like an artist. He will make it happen. He's creating the things in the world. He's more balanced, he's more settled, he's more into the details, into refinement. The 4th one is the CEO, is the general manager. He will create the procedures, the follow-ups, everyday tasks to follow, very routine based. And when you take these 4 modalities, first of all, you can study who you are. Then you can check who do you want to operate with, and understand the various challenges between the different types of leaders. Because leadership is also working with others and understanding their qualities. So by the way, I have a few more of those modalities. Every time I choose to pick up on a different modality because it helps to understand the environment.
Nice. And this is great because also, like in each organization, each one of those are needed usually, right? In different stages. So then I also can see, okay, what do I need right now in my organization? What do I need to add, or who is there, and are they a fit for the stage of the company or the organization? And what's the best way to relate with these things? Yeah.
One of the challenges that you can have if it's a one-man show organization, so you have to do all of the roles, but each role has conflicts with other roles. They are inherently not okay with each other. The one who's pushing forward, the general manager doesn't like him. He's always creating problems in the organization. He is organizing and he's pushing forward. So learning the different challenges, and even if you're a one-man show, how you switch context between each other, it's very difficult. It's one of the most challenging things in leadership.
Yeah, and it's also very important to know what am I good at and where I'm not good and I need help. Yeah. Maybe I need a business partner. Maybe I need to outsource some of my work. Maybe I need to acknowledge or learn a new quality.
There is other modalities that we can share with people. There is a modality that is based on the way I'm communicating. It's called communication styles. And for example, there is one communication style that is about being supporting, which is like very emotional related. How do you feel? Is it okay for you to do this now? This is like the mindset there. And the counter side of that, the other side of this, is someone who's very task oriented. I don't care how you feel, but we have to do A, B, and C. It's very, yes. And so just think that in the organization, you have 2 people, they are totally the opposite. How we can make them work together, and what is the benefit of having the 2 of them in the same organization. So there is also these modalities that we can bring. I really like to work with them.
Yeah.
I will say that for my leadership role, what I do in my life, I call it, I'm very good in headhunting. So for me, is not doing the work in the best way, is finding the person who is the most talented to do the thing that we want to accomplish. And so understanding different leader style, different communication style, for me is the key point to start, because if I want to work with you, I need to understand who you are and what do you bring. And then how can I relate to you in the best way? How can I communicate with you in the best way? So understanding all of these modalities for me is the leaders of the leaders. Is like,
And
I need to lead the leaders.
as you were speaking, like the last 10, 20 minutes, I had my own process. It was interesting. I think it's relevant to share because, we have a lot of mutual things. And in the same time, we're like very different, right? And then you have your style of communication and expression. And I noticed that at some point I was kind of looking at you like you are speaking, and I kind of say to myself, oh, yes, maybe it's possible, and I have more ideas, more options how to think about it like this. And then I applied something that I've seen recently is instead of kind of being separate from you, I kind of joined you in your, like, even without doing anything. I wasn't like asking, like doing anything about it, more like inside of me. I was like, okay, what is interesting for you, like to share? What is, how can I elevate like your stream right now that you're going with? So I think it's like something interesting that I was kind of working with and was live. So it's, yeah, I felt relevant to share because your spec is about communication and how can I like be a leader just by listening, because I can listen and I stop the energy, and I can listen and I elevate and I stream more energy and uplift. And yeah.
I think what you just said is we can do like a really deep session about this, because again, I think that one of the key points in leadership is communication. The basis of communication is listening. And basically, if I can do the right listening, I can get way more than everyone around me from the experience that is happening. And through that, I either can elevate, as you say, or can contribute, or whatever it is. So this is a very interesting topic. It's tied into communication and listening and connection.
Yeah. And also, I think the ability to see the best in another, or to ask for the best in another, or to give space to the best in another is such an important topic. Like, like someone can speak or be around and you can judge them or see them as like something is wrong or they can do even better or whatever. And then if you're like actually seeing the best in them, it's like giving them space to grow to that something that maybe you find even more interesting or more relevant. That's connected, I feel.
I'll share something that it's, for me, it's connecting to what you said. How do you gain power? And what does it mean to gain power? What does it mean to be powerful? For me, is the power of the people around me. That's my greatest power. If you ask me what I'm really good at, is the power of the people around me. I think that's my greatest strength. And then you can start to ask yourself from a leadership perspective. Again, it can sound very nasty what I'm saying now, but it's not coming from a bad perspective. It's really from deep connection. Is how can I gain all the power of all the people that I meet in my path to be in service of my way? And it can be very selfish and very egoistic, but it can also serve purpose and great things. Okay. And that's interesting. What will bring people to want to operate, cooperate, be next to you, and support your movement, whatever it is. And I think that's a big part, a key point in leadership. And what you say is like, if I'm really listening to you and you can connect to the fact that I'm really with you, you will actually want to be with me just because I can listen to you and I give you the space. So it's a nice kind of dynamic. And of course, we can use what I said now in a very negative way and manipulative way. But actually, I think it's the key point in order to create really successful connections and influence in this world. And it's really interesting that we can use this knowledge, this form of communication. You know, we're doing the Holistic Leader Program now. And for me, it's a study lab. It's not a lecture-based concept. Like I will talk, I will share things, fine. People will ask questions, I will reflect. But for me, is creating a laboratory to investigate the most interesting features and topics around the concept of leadership. I have ideas what I want to share, but I also have quite a few, let's call it deep questions to ask. I might say even be triggering questions for some people, like touch really the most maybe even vulnerable spots in our experience and see how we can really refine the process into finding the essence of how really to bring the leader outside. There is a quote that is coming from, I heard it in one of my ceremonies. It's called the Hopi Elder. And he says there are some very interesting things. Maybe I can share the entire quote in text, but one of the things he said, do not look outside of yourself for the leader. We are the people that we have been waiting for. And I really feel it more than ever that this time is for us to step up and to show up and really to be those people that we have been waiting for. And I want to investigate and find exactly what is this that is limiting us to be those people. Because I truly believe that we can be those people. And it can come in many ways because there is many different ways to be a leader. And it's not only about talking or charisma or politics or money. There is many other ways to influence. And that's what I want us to do the work about. And I will say that we're going for a 6 weeks chapter together with the people. I'm sure that we can do a lot in 6 weeks, but it's a lifetime for me. For me, it's my life work. Really, I focus a lot about this topic about how am I leading, how I'm supporting other leaders to empower other people. But going 6 weeks to do deep work around it can be very interesting. I'll be honest, for me, myself, like I'm very interested to see what will come out of me on the other side. I really, really want to study and to learn in these 6 weeks. I don't want to just bring content. I want to learn.
Yeah, and I think this is a key topic also for me, because I think basically, okay, we have our own experience and our own knowledge and whatever wisdom you want to call or whatever comes through. And then there is what's alive right now in me and what can I learn from meeting other people that care about the same things like me. And sometimes I see that I can learn about myself just from interacting with someone who cares about the same thing about like me. And I actually see so many different perspectives. So I think both for me and for everyone that joins such group is like such a gift to be in an environment that I can get reflection and maybe see some blind spot and get new perspective about topics. Because also, in a way, I think the whole concept of leadership is about learning. Like we're constantly learning. You can say we're constantly learning and we're constantly unlearning. It's like we're releasing our ideas to be present right now, really here, listening, in order to learn what is true, what is real, what is alive right now. And I think this is such a key, like, word, learning. Like, can I be in the seat of a student, even though I'm leading? And this is, I can say, the leadership that is not from the role. I'm not in the role of the leader, therefore I'm the leader. I'm actually listening so much so I can learn and receive the guidance to act from the most true, the most aligned, the most connected, the most relevant. Whether I act internally or physically, it doesn't matter, like to what feels the most correct. Because otherwise, I just move from my mind, which means from the past.
You know, there is a nice quote in the Tao. It's about leadership, and they say the leader, she, does not use the mind of her own. She uses the mind of the people, which basically is exactly tying into everything that you just said. It's like it's not about what I think, it's about the collective around me and how can I navigate and manage it and influence or be influenced by this. So yeah, it's actually one of the most beautiful quotes of the Tao that I carry very deep with me.
And in a way, this is what we create when we come in a group, because I have kind of my own field, myself, my consciousness, and I have me and you, and I have the whole group. So we create kind of a field of intelligence. And now let's see what is the potential of such field, like what wants to be created, what wants to be revealed. And it's so much more powerful than someone just sharing, teaching. You know, it's like a collective field of intelligence. And I think, yeah, this will be kind of the art to extract the most interesting, the most alive, the most relevant topics from the people and for the people. Okay, so we have just a couple of minutes left. And what I felt is to give spaces for the topic, like what is an holistic leader? And maybe just one thing before, when we came together and we said, okay, let's do an online program, like the name came just because how we interact. There was something kind of that felt that we cover a lot of the worlds, a lot of the topics that exist, a lot of like many aspects of life, that something that felt holistic in that, in our interaction. So that's how the name came. And yeah, I give it to you. What do you feel? What do you feel a holistic leader is? What do you see?
For me, it ties into many different types of teachings that I worked through in my life. And it's the concept of being able to balance and include all the aspects together. So it's very big what I said now. I'll give an example. Let's say we talk about the various elements: water, fire, air, and earth. Okay? So if you'll be too much in the earth, you'll not have inspiration from the air. If you'll be too much in the water, you'll not be in the fire. Okay? So, and for me, like the balance is basically being able to be in all of them when it's needed. So when I need to go up, I will go up. When I need to go down, I come down. Okay, when I need to flow, I will flow. When I need to force, I will force. And so the key point is not to be in the center, is to be able to be flexible, to be anywhere that I need to be when it's calling me to go there. So that's an example of a nice flow, an holistic flow, an inclusive flow, and finding the balance where the center is my home. But I can go out anywhere I need to do what is necessary and to bring the different elements. So that's one way to look at it. But I can take now 10 different topics, like communication style, like leader style. So for me, the holistic leader is understanding this concept and learning how to connect to all the elements via knowing myself how to do it, or connecting with resources on others that can do it for me. Okay, so like I'm not a good content writer, but I can communicate with the content writer. I'm very good in execution, not good in inspiration. Okay, I will find inspiring people, but that's also the holistic way, connecting everything and incorporating everything, and to put myself in the center of my life, being able to connect and to flow with everything that is needed. So that is holistic movement and being the leader of this movement.
Nice. I like that. And you know, when we started to interact about this, I thought about it, that in my kind of trainings, you can say I'm the less holistic in my approach. Like if we talk about this, I'm a bit more in the spiritual world, or a bit more in the inner world. Like I don't send people so much to take action in the world necessarily tomorrow. And I think when we come together, you bring a lot of that also, like taking action in the world. So I like this kind of the word holistic for me. When we come together, feels like it's a connection of vision and action, of spirit and matter. This is something that I feel that is alive here in this connection. And when you were sharing about the different aspects, like earth, sky, earth, and water, fire, and such, it's very similar to the, like in Qigong, when we learn, like what is the center, yeah? So we have the sky and the earth, the left and the right, and we have inside and outside. Yeah, and something is missing. Left, right, up, down, inside, outside. What else? And forward and backward. Yeah. So too much forward, too much trying in the world, too much backward, too much avoiding. No, not touch it, and so on. So it's like, I think it's nice to see where I'm at in the different topics and see where is the center. And besides the flexibility that I can go right, I can go left, I can go up, can go down every moment. But in the Qigong, you learn and can experience also that you can check even right now in the way we sit. If you find this kind of point that the way I sit right now is in the center, it's a point of expansion. It's a point that I can be in all places in the same time. So I actually don't have to be in the right or in the left, in the water, in the fire. It's like I'm in the expansion, like I'm in everywhere at the same time. I know it might be a bit mindy for the one who hasn't experienced it, but this is a beautiful concept that I feel is also relevant to find out what is the center for me between the dots.
Oh.
Okay, so hasta luego. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Kobe.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.